Just ordered a burrito pencil case while my camera was charging. I wish I were joking. Kneeling on the floor right now. My butt's half asleep. We're just gonna get started. Alright, so today we have my Drugstore Makeup Starter Kit 2015 edition. I did this video a year ago and it was one of my most popular videos to date, and you guys seem to really like it. So if you're a beginner or just getting into makeup or a teenager or whatever you are, this video is just intended to help with what you need to get started. Kind of like the basic drugstore items that I think you need. I would definitely suggest checking out last year's video because I'm not going to mention the stuff in that video again, but all of those favorites are still favorites and I still love those products. So these are kind of just more products that either came out this year or that I didn't mention in last year's video. I have a whole box here. Before we get started, I did film a tutorial on the look I'm wearing right now. This is a full face drugstore look, so if you want to know how to actually use the products that you buy, you can watch the tutorial. I'll link everything down below, along with all the products and all that good stuff. Alright, so let's start out with primers. And primers are basically what you put on your face before foundation or any face products right after you wash your face and moisturize. I can't go without wearing a primer on my face. I feel like it just creates a really nice base for your makeup and helps to minimize your pores and all that good stuff. My favorite primer from the drugstore has changed since last year. My new favorite is Maybelline Master Prime. This is the Blur and Illuminate one. I think they have a redness correcting one and another one. I don't remember what it is, but these are great primers. If you like dewy skin, you'll love this. This like radiates through your makeup somehow. And this has SPF 30 in it, so that's also a bonus. Another more recent favorite is the LA Girl Pro Prep HD Primer. This is a silicone-based primer, so I don't like to wear this every day because I do feel like silicone-based primers break me out. But I'm wearing it right now, and I just love the way that it makes your foundation glide over top. Most of the stuff can be found at Rite Aid or CVS or Walgreens, but some of the stuff is exclusive to Ulta. There we go. So after your primer, you're going to go in with foundation, which is basically like all over kind of coverage. They have different kinds of coverage, light, medium, and full coverage foundations. And then there's also things called BB creams. My favorite drugstore BB cream by far is Illuminate BB cream. This is SPF 20. I'm in the shade light. I guess they make a fairer shade in Europe, but I can't find it anywhere in the US. If you have this by you, hook a sister up. This stuff is amazing. I do have to mix it with my Manic Panic Dream Tone. This has great coverage. The finish is beautiful. It's like a super natural satiny kind of finish. It stays on all day. It's a great option if you don't want to wear a full-on foundation. As far as foundation goes from the drugstore, this is ridiculously hard for me to choose. I did just film a top pale foundations video, and a lot of those are my favorite drugstore foundation picks. So I'll link that down below as well if you want to watch that. But I'm just going to mention two in this video. First is Rimmel Lasting Finish 25 Hour with Comfort Serum. I'm wearing it right now. I love the finish that this gives. I'm pretty sure this breaks me out, so I don't use it on an everyday basis anymore, but this is an amazing, long-lasting, beautiful finish foundation from the drugstore. My other holy grail foundation is Revlon Color Stay. I've talked about this 5 billion times, as I feel like every other beauty person on YouTube has, but it's for a reason. This is definitely more of a full coverage foundation. I just have a pump on it from Beauty MP. Looking for something with more coverage and that's on the more matte side, check out this guy. You won't be disappointed. Brushes from the drugstore I feel like are a whole other video, but I did want to mention that the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge is amazing. It's like $6 from Ulta, and you can use it to apply your foundation. You just put this under water, squeeze it out, and you're good to go. If you're just starting out and you don't want to invest in an expensive brush or anything yet, try out this thing, and it's like really addicting to squeeze. Favorite drugstore powders haven't changed too much in the last year, but this one is a good option. Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. Is that what it's called? This is a powder foundation. You can use it to set your makeup, so basically after you put on your liquid foundation, if you get oily throughout the day, you can set your foundation with the powder. Something like this is great to control the oil. I typically don't set my foundation with a powder just because I use a setting spray. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Setting Spray. This came out this year and it is freaking amazing. I think I've gone through like 4 or 5 bottles of this already. This is hands down my favorite setting spray I've ever tried. Keeps my makeup looking good throughout the day. It adds like a tiny bit of dew to your face, but not where you look like super overly shiny. Even if you do set your foundation with a powder, I would still recommend using a setting spray. It just kind of helps to like sink the powder into your face. That did not sound appealing. Settle the layers, you know what I'm saying? For blush, bronzer, and highlight, there is one trio that just does it all for me. This is the Makeup Revolution Ultra Brightening Contour Kit in the shade Ultra Fair. This just has a beautiful bronzer, highlight, and blush. Literally all three are great. I'm wearing it on my face today. You'll see how to use these if you watch that tutorial. Makeup Revolution, as of super recently, can be found in Ulta stores. I love this thing. This is great. And if you don't want to buy a separate blush, bronzer, and highlight if you're just starting out, 3-in-1. Another favorite blush is the Milani Rose Powder Blush. This is in the shade Tea Rose. These are just super nice blushes, not much to say about it. They are matte. They have a good shade range. If you're new to drugstore makeup, try out Milani because they have a lot of great stuff that's super affordable. I'm wearing their lip product right now. Oh shit, forgot concealer. All right, we're backtracking to concealer. And hair. My new favorite drugstore concealer is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This concealer is amazing, super full coverage, blends out really nicely. It isn't too thick, but it's also not like super thin. Perfect consistency. This is in the shade 15, which isn't the lightest shade, but 15 is actually lighter than 10. It's still a little bit dark, and when you first put it on, it looks super dark, but once you blend it out, it somehow looks lighter. After I use my correcting powder by Physicians Formula that I use in every single video, that lightens up anything, so the color doesn't really matter to me as much, but if you want to lighten it up, you can use the NYX HG Photogenic Concealer. This is the lavender concealer. Crap, my battery's dying. You can basically mix this with any concealer or wear it by itself if you're super pale. So before you put on your eyeshadow, you definitely want to put down some kind of base, whether it's a primer or a concealer or something. I typically like using my MAC Painterly Paint Pot, but a good drugstore option is the Color Tattoo 24 Hour. If you can find a light cream-ish one, that would be ideal. Mine is like completely dried out. But if you don't have a primer or you don't want to spend the money on it, you can always use a concealer to start out. A lot of concealers do just as good of a job. Drugstore eyeshadows are a little bit trickier for me. I have like a bunch of single eyeshadows that I like from random brands, but not as many like full palettes. I do really like the chocolate bar palette, Naked Chocolate palette by Makeup Revolution. I think these are like $6 to $9 or something ridiculous like that, and they're beautiful. It's what I'm wearing on my eyes right now. Makeup Revolution has some really awesome eyeshadows. My other favorite drugstore eyeshadows are by L'Oreal, and these are just single shadows. They're the Infallible line. Amber Rush is beautiful. I have like 10 shades of these. Super pigmented. They have some nice shimmery neutrals. If you're just starting out, that can be a good thing to start with if you just plop it on your lid with your finger. All right, we're back. 17%. We're gonna make this happen. Like, we're super zoomed in. Had a wine break. I do not remember what we were talking about. As far as mascara goes, my favorite drugstore mascara this year has been the Maybelline Lash Sensational. If you like your lashes nice and curled, this will do it. It has a really nice comb kind of curved brush. Another good one is Maybelline Falsies as well. Bottom lash mascara hasn't changed. Shocker. If you've seen any of my videos, you probably saw me use this. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara. It's perfect for getting the bottom lashes. You want to make sure you don't use a brush like this on your bottom lashes because it can transfer to your concealer really easily, especially if you use a really wet formula. This one dries fairly fast, it doesn't transfer, and it's great. I'm going to pass through my favorite liquid eyeliner really quick because I mention it in every single video and in the last video. This is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster. Great for creating a super quick wing if you're a beginner. Amazeballs. That's all I can say. My favorite eyeliner for the waterline is the LA Girl Glide On Gel Liner. This is super black. It actually stays on your waterline. I think this is $2 or $3, and it's a really great eyeliner. Probably my favorite I've ever tried from the drugstore. For lip products, you don't really need a lip liner. There are definitely lipsticks that you can wear without lip liners, but if you're having the issue where it's like feathering or you just can't get in the lines of your lips, try out a lip liner. These are $1 or $2 by Essence, and they're great. I get mine at Fred Meyer, but you can also get them at Ulta. For just your basic lipstick, my go-to is the Milani. I think these are Color Sensational. These are like the newer ones, the matte line from this year, and my favorite shade is Matte Naked. I've gone through 2 of these. It's beautiful. Shit, the camera battery's already flashing. They're matte. They stay on pretty well for not being a long-lasting lipstick, and they're just a really great basic kind of lipstick if you're looking for one from the drugstore. Alright, so that was everything. I hope I actually remembered everything because my camera's about to die in like 2 seconds. Make sure you guys check out last year's video, and if you like this year's video, give it a thumbs up so I know. And I'm gonna go drink more wine. If you're new here, don't forget to click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any other videos. It's free. Welcome to YouTube. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye. I just said that 3 times.